with the Mercury Reporter in Hollywood, and this week we're going to talk about music and movies, specifically composer Randy Miller. And we're going to give you some highlights of his projects for the trailers of Band of Pirates, Contagion, and Yellow Rock. Stay tuned.
Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Mercury Reporter show. I'm William Lee.
I'm Bruce Mercury.
And this is the show that specifically is all about development and pre-production, and the Mercury Production Report, which is a list of shows in development and pre-production. And we're going to talk a little bit about that, a little bit about some shows, a little bit about people that are involved in these shows, crew positions, composers. We're going to go over that a little bit, and we're going to tell you a little bit about everything that has to do with the Mercury Report. So this is my co-host Bruce Mercury. Let's get right into it.
All right. Well, I guess you're probably curious what the hell the Mercury Production Report really is. Well, since 1993, we have listed thousands of movies, television shows, commercials, music videos, and helped thousands of people get work in Hollywood. So now in our 17th year, we figured that the show would be a nice extension to show people the other side of the Mercury Report. It's what they see in print. It's just the beginning, because our logo for our hook line for the last 17 years is we are the first news in entertainment.
We bring you the development, when they start development, when we get right into the pre-production stage of it, and we don't go any further than that. We do not go into the production stage of it. We get you all the info you need to know about these production companies that are doing these projects in development and pre-production, because that's when you want to contact them as far as getting crew positions, as far as getting vendor positions. These shows, you vendors, if you get on a show, this could mean income for years for you.
Oh, an example in point. A few years ago, somebody used the report. They bought it for a month or two. They called us up a couple months later and said, by the way, we got a $3 million job off the report. Well, that made us feel really great because we were helping people, but we thought, damn, wish we'd made $3 million.
Yeah, right.
But so, I mean, it might be an expensive report to get. Actually, we're cheaper than some people, but you know, when you look at it, how much money you really can make when you land a good job, it's
really
peanuts.
nothing.
It's peanuts.
The price of a monthly subscription is basically the price of a mediocre dinner for two out at a restaurant.
Right.
Really, what is that compared to a good crew job? Will land you anywhere from $200 to $600 a day. Vendors, you know how much you can make on a good show. So the price of a subscription is nothing compared to the benefits you get from it.
Don't forget the actors too. So you get, if this is a SAG show, that starts at $8.25 a day for the real theatrical rate. So that's quite impressive too.
How many productions we list about
40
a week.
Yeah,
probably about 200 a month, I would say. Production is always sometimes slow, sometimes it picks up, so it really depends on that. You can never really tell when it's going to pick up, when it's going to be a little slower, when there's going to be more union, when there's going to be more non-union, when it's going to be bigger productions, when it's going to be smaller, SAG, ultra low.
Yeah.
One thing,
we list it all, even non-union.
Yeah, one thing we do
and for the beginners, non-union is good because you got the best shot of getting on a non-union show. Even though the pay is not so good, they hire people that aren't on union and a lot of beginners, and that's how people get their start.
You can't afford to go to a film school. Get yourself involved.
$40,000 for a film school.
Yeah, get yourself
right down
involved
the road here.
On a PA job. This is the best way to get involved in the business.
Experience.
This is on-set experience.
Yeah.
If you can't afford one of the big schools, guaranteed you can go through the report and find yourself something to get on. I'm going to give you an example. I had a roommate years ago that had no official schooling or training. His brother had worked as a crew person, so he was always interested in getting involved in the business. I told him, why don't you send out to the report, put yourself a resume together with, you know, a few of the things that you've worked on before. He got interviews right away. and he was actually getting calls months later, because I told him the way to do it was go through an issue, reach out to everybody in there for a beginner. He sent out to everybody, and he did get responses, and he did get interviews.
Sometimes it takes a couple months.
Yeah. Well, he was still getting calls months later,
Yeah.
but initially he did get called right away for some interviews. And honestly, I can't remember if he got on some movies or not, but that is a true story.
Hey, getting the audition's the main thing. I mean, that we can lead a horse to water, but we can't make it drink. So
yeah, and also it depends on your resume.
Right.
It depends on a lot of things.
Yeah, it
but
does.
At least with the report, you have your basic info to go. Where else are you going to get around 200 shows a month? You going to get this info yourself? I don't think so.
Take a long time.
Yeah, try it and see how well it goes.
And we are really the only report that actually, I think, has the gumption to list whether or not shows are union status, what their union status is. Most people don't. And when you go to get a job and look at different productions, you need to know what the status is. You know, you need to know if it's a SAG show, if it's DGA.
It saves you time.
It saves you time. You know what shows you can get on and
which
might
ones you can't
get on.
Yeah, it's right here.
Right.
You know, it tells you right away. You don't have to do all the research, call 100 shows. If you know you're only going to apply to a non-union position,
right,
you look through the report and you find shows that are non-union, and you go from there.
Well, basically, let's move on a little bit. If you're curious about this, I'll tell you real quick how you can get the report, and then we'll go into the show. We have two websites up. One is themercuryreport.com, and the other one is mercuryreport.com. So you can check that out, sign up if you'd like.
Okay, we're going to go to a commercial break right now, roll the end credits, and look for part 2 of this 3-part interview where we will show you the Band of Pirates trailer. Stay tuned.
Waterfalls of Hawaii. Journey through the Hawaiian Islands to discover Hawaii's best waterfalls, featuring Maui and the falls along the Hana Road, from Oahu to the Big Island and onto Kauai's Napali coast and the colorful Waimea Canyon. Enjoy Hawaii's most famous waterfalls.